So last week we had to go to the post office to drop off a passport, because you have to send it back before they send you a new one, because it was still valid but only had a few months left. And the post office is near my doctor's surgery. And back before December I had the flu and I was very, very, very unwell. I really wasn't well at all. But we've moved here recently and I hadn't registered with the doctors, so I registered with, or after I got over the flu, registered with the doctors because I'd had to go to urgent care, and I thought, well, actually having a doctor's is probably a good idea as I'm getting older, get the flu jab and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so we registered with the doctors, which is fine, and then I got a text from them saying, well, we've never seen you before, can you come in and give us a blood pressure measurement? Okay, anyway, so we're at the post office. Post office is near this new doctor's surgery, so I thought, okay, let's pop in and sort that out. So we popped in, they've got one of those machines, you just stick your arm in, it does the blood pressure for you, and then I have to give it to reception, and that was it. So I went in, there was a guy there before me, he had done his blood pressure, and I saw the numbers, and I don't really know what the numbers mean. I saw the numbers. I thought, well, is that good? Is that not good? I don't really know. Anyway, he said, oh gosh, I think it's a bit high. So I then put my arm in. He'd gone, put my arm in, and my number was higher. So I'm not sure. Anyway, went to reception, said, just write your name and date of birth on it. It's like a little printed off sheet. Gave it to them, got back in the car, started driving home. The phone rings. So I thought, oh, this isn't good. Pulled over, answered the phone. It was a doctor's surgery. We'd like you to come in. Your result was a little bit high. Not urgent, but could you come in? I said, well, do I really need to? Yes, we'd really like you to come in. So I'm going in. This is one of the reasons I'm doing all of this walking in this channel. I want to have a long and healthy retirement, so I'm thinking exercise is probably a good thing. But anyway, blood pressure a little bit high, so got a doctor's appointment next week. Well, this week. So I'll be able to talk about that next week, I think. Then I thought, actually, it's a day out. Have a nice morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, pop out, get my blood pressure done, see the doctor, see what's going on, and we'll take it from there. Anyway, that's why I'm doing this, to avoid these sorts of things, but it's just one of those things of getting older, isn't it? Anyway, I'll let you know how that goes in a few days' time once I've been. In the meantime, I better finish my walk. Nick and I out today. Still not quite ready to join the channel. Anyway, that's it. I'll enjoy the rest of my walk, and maybe I'll see you next time. One of the things we did just before I left my job was we moved offices, and me and my team, we had our own office, and we bought the old stuff from our old building, and we had some whiteboards, those big sort of white things, a bit magnetic, you can stick stuff on, and 5 months later when I left, we still hadn't actually put one of them back up on the wall. So what's that got to do with me? Well, I bought myself a whiteboard. I've got a little office that I used to work in at home, and decided, well, it'd be really useful to have a whiteboard so I can put things down, remind me of things, put ideas for what I want to do, stuff I want to achieve. So I've put a whiteboard up, and so I think I've got mine up before my work. So yeah, that was quite fun. Anyway, where are we? We're going over a bridge. There's a big river here. It looks a little bit, not sure. This could be one of those viral videos where I go over the bridge and that's the last you see of me. Anyway, I'm going to press on. It looks pretty safe to me. You can see my wife in the background. She's not quite so brave as I am, but we're going. There doesn't seem to be any problems, but it does not bounce around a lot. Yeah, we've not been here before. I don't think, I mean, it'd be great for views, wouldn't it? But I don't think it's going to go. But you never know. River's very full, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful countryside around here. But yeah, lots and lots and lots of water. I think I'm pretty much just about in the middle. I don't know whether I'll be the only one to cross the bridge, whether my wife will come with me. I'm considerably heavier than she is, so I think if I can get across, she should be okay. So if we get to the other end, it is very bouncy though. It is quite disconcerting. I'm having to watch where I'm going. I don't want to not look and then put my foot through a hole. I think I'm over. That's better. I've made it safely. So yeah, anyway, we're talking about whiteboards, but that bridge came up. So yeah, so I've got my own little office at home. I used to call it my prison cell when I was working. I'd have to go to my little cell, do a day's work, often looking at spreadsheets, writing reports, responding to auditors, doing stuff that actually I wasn't achieving anything. I didn't feel. I think if I ran my own business, I wouldn't be doing all the stuff that we have to do as a business when I worked there. I mean, we had regulators, we had ombudsmen, we had, you got government regulations, all sorts of stuff, and it's a lot of stuff that doesn't actually generate income or serve the customer, which I think, isn't that what we're there for? Anyway, so I'm pleased not to be doing that. I can do my own stuff now, and actually at the end of the day, I can look back and I've actually achieved stuff. I've tidied up stuff, I've made something, I've done some DIY, I've made a couple of videos, I've done all sorts of stuff that I want to do. I've not had to fill in any paperwork, have an audit, or do anything like that. All I've got to do is satisfy me, my family, you, the viewers, and that's all I've got to do. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm gonna head back across the bridge. I don't think my wife has actually made it across. I think she's decided maybe to wait on the other side. We'll see. But that's it. I'm gonna continue my walk. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, assuming I make it back across the bridge. So this morning, spent a bit of time booking some flights. It's my mother-in-law, my wife's mum, lives in America, in Alabama. So she's going to go over and visit for a week or so. I'm going to stay home and look after the cats and carry on doing my walks. But we have a bit of a ritual when everyone is booking something like this. We must check it probably 10 different times. Look at the view here. The river is very high. Look at that. So yeah, it's very, very high. And we've been driving through floods. It rained a lot last night. Anyway, yeah, so we must check probably 10 different times, I think. We go through it. Just to make sure, it's a lot of money. Want to make sure we got all the details right. But it's also a chance to remember the time I booked some flights to Spain. We went as a family, went on a family holiday, flew out from Heathrow, went to Spain, had a lovely time, and then came back, got to the airport in Spain. I think it was quite a late flight. It was something like 10 o'clock at night, so or maybe a bit earlier, but yeah, it was quite a late flight. We got there, checking the flights. I think it might have been 8:55, something like that. Anyway, there was a 9 o'clock back to Heathrow. We thought, hang on, we've definitely got an 8:55, and we thought, well, we come on the wrong day? No, we were there on the right day. Everything was right. So 8:55 ours was due to depart. There was a 9 o'clock to Heathrow, so that didn't seem right. And there was an 8:55 to Gatwick. And then the penny dropped. Now I thought, if you book a flight, most people want to fly from somewhere and return to somewhere. I never thought that I'd be flying from somewhere and returning somewhere else. But that's what I'd done. I booked the flight from Heathrow to Spain, Malaga, and then from Malaga to Gatwick. Well, at least we were getting close. We got back to England. So we took our flight back to Gatwick. By the time we landed, it was late. And then it's a question of, well, what do you do? So this was quite some time ago, pre sort of real good smartphones. I think I had a BlackBerry at the time. Gosh, more flooding here. Look at that. Hiya. So pre smartphones, I had a BlackBerry, so we landed at Gatwick, and it was like, well, what do we do? It was very late by that time. There were no buses, and we ended up having to take a taxi. 70 quid from Gatwick to Heathrow in the middle of the night. Got to our car, and then we had a couple of hour drive to where we lived. So that was one of those trips. So ever since, whenever we're booking anything, we always check. We check each other, we make sure we've got it right, all because of that one occasion, I guess. 70 quid for a life lesson, probably good value, wasn't it? We've not made that mistake since, and we hope not to. Anyway, on with the walk, avoiding the puddles, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day today. You can see the sun in the sky. It's lovely. It makes a real change from all the rain we've been having. Still some flooding going on, but just a lovely day. So it got me thinking, solar panels. Should we get solar panels? Our house would be suitable. I think we've got sort of a southwesterly, southeasterly roofs, so it's probably suitable. The prices have come down hugely, and if we put a battery in as well, we're sort of getting towards almost being off grid. We've got a septic tank and an oil heater, so we're not really connected to any of the mains, so maybe something to think about. The other thing I've been looking at is our cars. We've got two cars at the moment. One has done over 150,000 miles. The other one has done over 110,000 miles. So, best will in the world, we're going to have to get a new car at some point. Bought our last one in 2016, I think it was. Well, I bought my second-hand car. It's an old classic. I bought that in lockdown, but our sort of main car, we paid £12,000 for it, which is the most we'd ever spent on a car. That was back in 2016. And I'm looking again now, thinking, well, what can we get to replace it? Bloody hell, everything's very expensive. We got some quite specific needs. Needs to be nippy. My wife and I like nippy cars. Unfortunately, most modern cars have really small engines. We're looking for sort of 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, and most of them are way more than that. Unless you get an electric car. So do we get an electric car? And if we had solar panels, are we getting free fuel? So that's the debate at the moment. But yeah, 12,000 in 2016 is 17,000 in today's money. I wasn't looking at spending 17,000. That seemed like a lot of money for a car. By now, you know, I see people driving around in 30, 40, 50,000 pound cars, and I just don't know where that money comes from. Whether it's lease or loan or whatever, but it seems like a lot of money. A lot of money to be driving around in. Anyway, so that's our dilemma. Don't need to rush. We're thinking maybe even going down to one car, although when my wife is out at work and I'm at home, does that make me a bit trapped? So I don't know, I could get a bike, push bike, or even a motorbike. I've got a motorbike licence, but I think those days are behind me. So yeah, it's all a bit, you know, I guess an interesting problem to have. It's not the end of the world. We are going to have to get something at some point. It's just nothing is out there that's really really exciting me. Maybe one of these, but it's a bit slow. You'll see it as it goes by. I quite like one of these. Nice old Land Rover, quite like those, but a bit slow, but probably very practical from around here where we're living now. Oh, anyway, what a lovely day. What a lovely day. Need more of these. Cold though. Clear sky, cold temperatures, but not raining, and just nice to see the sun. Anyway, I'm going to finish my walk and hopefully see you next time. Early mornings. Not my friend normally. Many years ago when I started work, I was a postman and my shift used to start at 04:50. So I had to cycle into work to get there for 10 to 5 in the morning. So I was getting up at 4 in the morning. I'd finish by midday and then have to have a sleep in the afternoon and then get up in the evening and then do it all again. And that was 6 days a week back then. I was a bus driver as well and used to do the earlies there as well. And if you imagine, if you're a bus driver, how do you get to work? Because if you're driving the bus, who's going to drive you? And we used to have a thing called, well, I can't remember what it's called now, but the first bus driver in would then drive around the town, picking up all the other bus drivers. So that was good fun. Did that a few times. So again, nice and early starts. Got a bit better after that. Office work, not so bad. But more recently, when I've been travelling in to my office, I had to leave at 6. It's a 3-hour drive more or less. So I'd be getting up at sort of 10 to 5, give myself a chance to wake up, sort myself out and get out there. So yeah, early mornings. I've done a few. I'm happy not to be doing them anymore. Happy not to be doing them anymore. But I have noticed I'm getting up earlier again. So this morning I was up at 6:45. Don't need to be up at 6:45, but I was up at 7:45. I'm generally ready to get up around 7:30, which gives me a chance to get stuff done. I sort of finding that just lying in bed these days and thinking, well, actually there's a lot of stuff I want to be doing. But we're going to bed earlier as well, my wife and I. Maybe it's a sign of getting old, I'm not sure, but we're going to bed quite a bit earlier. Some nights 8:30, other nights 9:30, but days of staying up really late are long gone. And I stop here because I'm passing a big generator. Oh, it's the canteen for the roadworks. There's some roadworks going on. That's the canteen, that's good, isn't it? Looking after their people. Yeah, so early mornings. I don't know if you like them. It's nice being out today, it's dry, sun's up. It's just after 9. So I've got up and been doing some stuff before and then I'm in Ross-on-Wye today, doing a little bit of shopping. So I thought I'd have a nice walk, up and around, lots and lots of flooding. As you'll have seen from the introduction to the video, hopefully no houses are flooded, it's just a floodplain, and that's a good advert for not building on floodplains, isn't it? As you can see. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, finish a walk, and hopefully see you next time.